Right now at 6, Coffeyville honors fallen heroes as veterans gather to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
And take a look, we got that drizzle. That's what that is. The roads are wet again. More showers on the way. A look at that forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, local community members come together on Memorial Day to remember those who served.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
All right, Chris Warner, it's Tuesday. It's May the 27th, and we're trucking right. It's hard to believe May is almost over. I know we talk about it all the time. It happens, but I know some of you at home, as soon as we remind you that the month is almost over, you're probably the same way, though. You're like, how did we get here?
It doesn't, yeah, this month
so
flew
fast?
by.
Every month, it's been that way for a while now, but we don't control the passage of time.
Too bad.
No, I know. If we could slow things down, I tell you, that would probably be pretty nice. But we can't, and we don't control the weather either. We just tell you about it, and we've got more rain on the way. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. It looks like fog. It's really heavy drizzle, leading to slightly reduced visibilities in some locations. So just a heads up as you're traveling this morning. But you can see the roadways are getting wet again. We had a car pass by actually just not long ago. It made it a little easier to see. You can see the reflection on the roadway because they were trying to dry out. No such luck now. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line in Joplin. Again, difficult to say, and drizzle and stuff like that will not show up on the radar. It's just too finite. The radar beam passes right through it like it's not even there. But what it doesn't pass through is actual precipitation, and that's what we're getting down to Elk County, and again stretching back down into the Osage Nation, northern Oklahoma. Those showers, they were there. We had detectable rain this morning, and then it went away, and now it's kind of regenerating. It's slow, but it will continue to regenerate. We'll get additional showers and a few more, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. No severe weather. I really want to emphasize that because we've had just a wild severe weather season that kicked off in early April the 2nd, and each severe weather event we've had has been just as bad as the last one. So I really do want to emphasize we're not anticipating anything severe today, tomorrow, anything like that. But we do have showers that will begin to increase in coverage through the morning into the afternoon. Could get a rumble of thunder or two. But one of the key changes, take a look at these little splotches in the clouds. That's mostly cloudy. It means you get a little sunshine in there, which means we're going to be a wee bit warmer. Now down south, as you see on the future track, you might actually get a little more sunshine down south, so you might be a hair warmer than everybody else in the 4 states. And future track still, I think, holding on to the rain a little too late. I think by 6, we are done, at least for a little while. 58 in Joplin. Look at that drizzle and how it it reduces those visibilities out there from that heavy drizzle. But see, the roads are wet. We got 58s, though, Joplin, Pittsburgh. And around the region, temperatures not moving much from yesterday. We've got mid-upper 50s for most of us, with a pocket of 60-degree readings in some of our southwestern communities. Today, our highs, again, with a little sunshine trying to peek through, a little warmer, mid-60s, still 15 degrees off pace for average, but better than yesterday. And we'll have those shower, maybe even a thunderstorm chance, wrapping up by about 6. And we'll have north winds at about 5 to 10. We do, unfortunately, have 2 more rounds of rain, and 1 more round of rain, depending on how you want to look at it. We'll talk about that and the weekend forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, a former police chief is on the run after escaping from a prison in Arkansas. Grant Hardin, the former police chief of Gateway, Arkansas, escaped from the North Central Unit in Calico Rock, where he has been held since 2017. And while officials have not released many details due to the investigation, they did say Hardin disguised himself to mimic law enforcement when he escaped the North Central Unit, which you can see in this picture. Hardin was serving a 30-year sentence for the October 2017 murder of James Appleton. He was also serving a 50-year sentence for the rape of an elementary school teacher in Rogers, Arkansas. Corrections officials say they are working closely with local, state, and federal agencies. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Community members gathered at Webb City's Mount Hope Memorial Park for a Memorial Day remembrance. Charlie Tutu put together the service with presentations of colors and the playing of taps. The Webb City mayor says it's important that at least part of the holiday is about honoring our veterans.
I like to have fun. I think that our nation likes to have fun, but there are occasions when we need to set that aside and just be reflective and somber and remember we didn't get here on our own.
The ceremony yesterday included the placement of the ashes of U.S. Navy veteran Mark E. Reynolds. On Memorial Day, we remember those who've gone before, including our nation's veterans. The ceremony in Coffeyville, Kansas yesterday afternoon was originally scheduled to be outside, but moved indoors due to weather concerns. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, this wasn't about the location, but more importantly, the memories and gratitude for those who served.
I joined the Marine Corps to get out and see the world and have more opportunities.
Paul Melise is from Coffeyville, and he's a Vietnam vet. He says he was like any young person working in the food industry. He was looking for discipline in his life, but more importantly, he had a message.
It starts with freedom. If you love freedom, you got to be willing to defend it, because there are people out there that want to take it away from us.
Melise and other vets were honored at Grace Fellowship Church across the street from Fairview Cemetery, where it was supposed to be held. But it didn't happen due to the weather. Pastor Doug Munn says it didn't matter. The community showed a lot of love.
Seeing the community come together, honoring our veterans, seeing the city band out here, the mayor, our legislator.
And here comes the good part.
And it was a lot warmer inside.
But outside is where local Kyle Brimley came to visit. Two of his relatives fought in armed forces, his dad and his stepdad.
A two-time Golden Glove boxer. He was going to play pro football, but he had to go in the military.
And for his other dad,
he had the cleaners on 11th Street in Coffeyville.
Melise says the true heroes are right here.
The real heroes are the ones that are in the graves, the ones that didn't make it back home. And we're the only voice they have as veterans. And so for me personally, I feel it as a duty and a responsibility.
Reporting in Coffeyville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The entire event was open to the public. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A major fire breaks out at Ecuador's largest oil refinery, sending large amounts of smoke into the air. Plus, 45 people, including 4 children, are injured after a minivan rams through a crowd in Liverpool, England. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping World Watch this morning, 170 trucks filled with medicine, medical supplies, and food crossed into the Gaza Strip. According to the Israeli military on Monday, Israel says the trucks belong to the United Nations and other aid organizations. They entered through Kerem Shalom crossing after undergoing a security inspection. Israel faced massive pressure from its allies and other global forces as health experts warn a famine is imminent in Gaza. The country has since began letting in some humanitarian aid last week after an almost 3-month blockade. A major fire at an Ecuadorian oil refinery forces employees out of the location. The fire engulfed the country's largest refinery in Esmeraldas on Monday. Firefighters worked to contain the fire, which sent large amounts of smoke into the air, forcing workers to evacuate the plant. Now, no one was injured in the fire, and an investigation is underway to determine what caused it to erupt. The refinery was built in 1971 and has the capacity to process around 110,000 barrels of crude oil per day. Well, police say more than 45 people, including 4 children, were hurt when a man drove a minivan through a crowd of revelers in Liverpool, England, celebrating the city's Premier League championship. The man was arrested and is believed to have acted alone. Wendy Gillette has more.
These celebratory cheers were short-lived after UK police say a ramming incident left dozens of soccer fans injured Monday. Paramedics tended to those in need after the attack turned the day into a scene of terror.
We believe this to be an isolated incident, and we are not currently looking for anyone else in relation to it. The incident is not being treated as terrorism.
A 53-year-old British man was arrested. Witnesses say the crowd swarmed the vehicle after it hit people and smashed its windows. The driver accelerated again, striking more victims, trapping some of them under the van.
Our crews rapidly lifted the vehicle, removed 3 adults and 1 child from beneath, and passed them to our ambulance service colleagues.
Before the attack, red confetti rained through the air as hundreds of thousands celebrated their team's victory in the streets, a parade that had spanned 10 miles.
A family, a unit.
The incident brought swarms of police officers to the street where it happened. It's one of several car rammings across the world this year. On New Year's Day, 15 people were killed when a U.S. man drove a vehicle into a crowd celebrating on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. In April, 11 people died in an attack at a festival in Vancouver, Canada. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The team and Premier League both issued statements offering prayers for the victims. And still to come, a new study suggests that climate change is making allergy season more severe. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. Well, a 16-year-old boy from central Iowa has created an app he hopes will help people feel more comfortable in the kitchen. The Pesto app is live and can answer questions about cooking, baking, or anything kitchen related. Nicole Tam spoke with the app's creator about his work.
Nash Roll is taking lessons he learned from being on Food Network's Kids Baking Championship to the kitchen at home.
Kids do not know, how to wash a dish, how to make a basic, or how to read a recipe, how to add up measurements and stuff like that. And I knew that that's a big problem now, especially, and I knew there was a way we can fix that.
The solution he came up with is a resource that answers kitchen or cooking questions. Pesto.
We like to call him your super smart, judgment-free cooking buddy.
Pesto is powered by artificial intelligence. Creating Pesto was the challenge itself.
The learning curve was really fighting against what code can do and what software can do versus what I want it to do.
After months of learning and hard work, the Can Cook app is live, answering questions about cooking, baking, or anything kitchen related. And unlike other AI apps, this one is trained to only answer kitchen-related questions.
If I can provide a free app that has information I've had to hand type or hand upload, you can only ask it about certain questions that have been input. So if you asked it about cars or trucks, it wouldn't answer.
Now, Rose says he's hoping to improve the app, and he wants the app to also feature recipes and other chat features by early summer. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Another drizzly, dreary start to the day. More showers and even a couple of rumbles of thunder on the way. How long will this rain stick around? We've got the answers when we come back. Welcome back to the KOM Morning News, 6:20 now on this Tuesday morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker. Again, there is some drizzle out there, which we'll show you in a moment. Just not, it's not really showing up on radar because it's a little too finite. But what is showing up on radar are these showers out here. Not much to look at right now. Just to the west of K99, so west of Howard, Moline out there into Elk County. Just a little shower there, and a couple just outside Chautauqua County. So to the west of Cedarvale, and a few more stretching back around the Ponca City area back into northeastern Oklahoma. So here's what we've got. We have these showers that, again, you see in the radar loop. They were there, then they kind of fizzled out, and now they're starting back up again. And that's what's going to lead to an increase in coverage with showers and even a couple of thunderstorms as we push through the rest of the afternoon. So it's just part of this whole boundary, this wave that's coming through. It's going to give us another round of showers and storms. And here's what it looks like by noon. More scattered showers out there. Now, there's something that's going to change a little about today. It's going to help us out a wee bit. Then we'll talk about this weekend, which I think you'll really like. But we got to get through today and tomorrow and Thursday as well with more rain. So these little splotches, though, on the future track, that's where we're looking at the mostly cloudy skies. Now, I know ordinarily mostly cloudy still seems like just really bland and dreary, but we could get enough sunshine in, especially in our southern counties. Take a look south of Grove in Delaware County, where some of us might be a little warmer today. We're still, most of us, about 15 degrees off pace for normal, but it's a positive change for us. It'll be a little warmer out there today. Shower storms should wrap up by about 6. As I've mentioned this morning, Future Track is still kind of holding them through 8. We'll see exactly how that plays out. Anything that does linger that late is east of the I-49 corridor, but I think the bulk of it will be done by 6. Overnight tonight will be mostly cloudy. We have calm winds, and we'll also have the patchy, dense fog. Thanks to all the rainfall, all the moisture in the air, and the calm winds on top of it, you got to watch out tomorrow, well, late tonight into tomorrow morning's commute for that patchy, dense fog, because you don't want to mess around, because you can see those visibilities drop rather suddenly tomorrow morning in some spaces. So you know the drill. Just be prepared and plan for your morning commute to maybe take just a wee bit longer than normal. Now Wednesday, we actually get an opportunity where we might even be partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, which will allow us, as you can see, to start warming up by Wednesday afternoon. However, later in the day Wednesday, we're going to start to see a gradual increase in shower and thunderstorm chances. No severe weather expected. By the way, no severe weather expected today, tomorrow, or Thursday. But some rumbles of thunder will certainly be possible as we go overnight to tomorrow night into Thursday. Thursday, we see the clouds increase, and we are cloudy across the board. However, the shower chances are much more spotty. So we're not talking rain everywhere all at once, but we will have scattered showers out there, and the cloud cover will bring our temperatures back just a wee bit as well. But as we go late into Thursday and early Friday morning, we start to clear out and things are going to start to improve for us. All right, scattered showers. You can see our camera here at 7th and Range Line. See that little haze out there? It's not necessarily fog. It's just some of that heavier drizzle. 60s through the morning hours, and as we roll into the afternoon, mid-60s, and again, maybe even some low 70s in southern Oklahoma, or the southern portions of our area into Oklahoma, so Delaware County, things like that, because you might get a little more sunshine. North winds 5 to 10. Mostly cloudy skies for just about everybody. Will continue through the evening. Rain should wrap up at least the bulk of it by 6. We'll be back into the upper 50s again with that patchy fog and calm winds. Low 70s tomorrow thanks to a little more sunshine. About 70 Thursday. Bear in mind our average high is 80. Then take a look. Now Saturday, it's nothing to worry about, but we could have some pop-up storms to remember when thunder roars, head indoors. If you hear that thunder, you want to get inside. But otherwise, sunshine returns, as do the warmer temperatures, low to mid-80s, rolling through the weekend and next week. Let's check your forecast. Now we're send it over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, baby food pouches sold in 8 states is being recalled due to elevated lead levels. Now, the Associated Press reports that the recalled brands were sold at public stores and are labeled as Green Wise Pear, Kiwi Spinach, and Pea Baby food pouches. The Public says all the contaminated products are off store shelves and no illnesses have been reported. Well, if you've noticed your allergies getting worse, there's a reason. Because of climate change, allergy season is getting longer and more severe. The Asthma and Allergy Foundations say the worst cities to live in for people with allergies are Wichita, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Memphis. Now, the good news, treatments for seasonal allergies have gotten more effective recently. And a reminder that everyone should be wearing sunscreen, even people with darker skin. Now, there's a misconception that the melanin is darker and darker skin offers enough protection against the sun, but dermatologists say that's not good enough. Now, while Black and Hispanic people are less likely to get skin cancer, they're also more likely to die from the disease. Setting boundaries is a critical part of a person's well-being, and experts say it can not only help you handle and reduce stress, but can also lead to healthier relationships. However, it's not always easy to do, and sometimes it can be downright uncomfortable. Mandy Gaither has tips on how to set healthy boundaries for mental health.
Saying no can be hard to do, but experts say setting boundaries is not only good for mental health, it's necessary. Not having them isn't good for anyone.
It ends up really affecting your mental health. You might end up depleted. You might feel like your needs aren't met.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says to set healthy boundaries, start by reflecting on your own needs and on your limits. And don't compare yourself to others. We all have different needs and limits. Next, align your actions with what's right for you.
So if you know, okay, I need to set limits on how much I take on because it affects my mood, my sleep, my interactions with my family, keep coming back to that why.
Baumstein says to communicate those boundaries clearly and assertively and be consistent with those boundaries. She says that will reinforce those lines drawn and help people understand that they're there. And finally, learn to say no.
This is hard for a lot of us, but we want to remember that no can be a full sentence. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. This is about protecting your own mental well-being and protecting relationships that you have with other people.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Crawford County officials warn drivers after floodwaters destroy roads.
And more showers and even a couple of thunderstorms in our forecast, including our morning drizzle. Well, we'll look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we'll hear the story of a 104-year-old World War II veteran from Southwest Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday, May the 27th.
It certainly is, yes.
Almost the end of this month.
I know.
And for many kids out there, summer vacation has already started. I know some schools staying a little later. We did get some snow earlier this year. And but one way or the other, here we go, summertime.
Summer just about here.
Looking at some data, June looks to be not bad, possibly at or even a little below average for temperatures.
That sounds enjoyable, yes.
And after the last couple of summers, you know, that would certainly be nice. But we're not to June yet. We'll see exactly how that pans out. But you need to know about today, so we're going to get to today. With that look outside first from downtown Pittsburgh, 4th and Broadway. Take a look. All that haze and stuff looks like fog. It's not actually like really fog, believe it or not. It's very heavy drizzle. And that's what I, again, encountered on my way in this morning. Now, that was 3 a.m., but still, it gives you a sign. It doesn't show up on radar, but it definitely shows up when you look out the window and you see that drizzle. MoDOT camera, 30-second mid-range line. Looking good this morning as well. Well, it's not looking great. What would be great is to see some sunshine, maybe just a couple of clouds, some mild temperatures. Not what we're seeing. Now, the only rain that's really showing up on radar is to get back into Elk County and now stretching back into parts of southeast Kansas outside of our area and into northeastern Oklahoma, into northwestern Osage County. That rain wasn't there a little bit ago. And by the way, it's nothing to worry about. I feel like, here lately with our severe weather season, if we say, hey, that wasn't there a minute ago and it's there now, it means something bad's coming. But not the case. It's more rain, and we don't want more rain, but that's what we've got. But that's all it is. And we'll see these showers continue to increase in coverage as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. Maybe a rumble of thunder or two. No severe weather, nothing like that, but just more dreariness out there. However, a slight change. Take a look at the future track by 4. You can see the ground level in some of these areas. That's because we start to go mostly cloudy, and that will actually allow a little more sunshine in, maybe not a lot, but a little, get us a little warmer today. As we go, again, future track holding on to some of these showers through 8. I think if we do see anything by 8, it's going to be very isolated. We should be done with the bulk of the rain by 6. And then we'll have a brief pause in some of that rainfall. We are sitting at 58 in Joplin, you can see. So do also be aware that drizzle can still lead to slightly reduced visibility, so bear that in mind. 58 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures across the region pretty close to what they were yesterday, mid-upper 50s, and we've got this pocket of 60s into the southwestern corner of our area. Highs today, thanks to a little bit of sunshine, trying to do just like that and peak out a wee bit. We're going to go mid-60s, few scattered showers, thunderstorms, north breeze 5 to 10. Now, this pause in the rain late this evening and overnight is only temporary. How temporary is it, though? Well, stick around. We'll have the answer for you in the full forecast. That'll be here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon. Well, in Crawford County, Kansas, several roads were shut down after heavy flooding washed out portions of the roadway. Commissioner Bruce Blair says the damage is significant. County officials are urging people to turn around and find a safer route instead of trying to drive through. They say the road and bridge department immediately began assessing the damage and implementing safety closures while also looking at long-term repairs. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Well, more than 16 million Americans fought in World War II, and according to the Department of Veteran Affairs, about 66,000 are still living today. Reporter Jackie Garrity was able to sit down with one of our Southwest Missouri veterans with an incredible story of bravery and a call to serve.
It may seem as if it's an average day for the nurses at the Jane Taylor Veterans Outpatient Clinic in Springfield. Harriet Daniels is here to get a checkup, something she's been doing for 40 years at the VA.
So we're listening to your hearts.
What you wouldn't know about Harriet, just by looking at her, is that she's also a 104-year-old World War II veteran.
In communications, the front was only about, I think it was about 10 miles away, and we could hear the guns and stuff. But fortunately, they never did. The Germans never did break through.
Harriet has called Aurora home for decades, where her son Tommy, a Vietnam War veteran, lives 5 blocks from her. She was even given the key to the city at her 100th birthday, but she was born in 1921 in Northeast Oklahoma.
Of course, I was raised during the Depression, so nobody had any money. Everybody was poor, I guess.
Harriet and her family were living in Kansas City when World War II broke out. Her brother was drafted and sent to the South Pacific.
Every day when I got off of work, there was this poster, this big poster, and it had Uncle Sam, and he says, "I want you." So I went home and I told Mom that I was going to join the WAC.
After Harriet joined the WAC, the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, she was sent to Fort Des Moines and then Daytona Beach, Florida.
And there was rumors that we were a special group and that we would probably be going overseas. But you don't have to go if you don't want to. Well, after I'd been through all this, I decided, well, I guess I'm going to go.
And then she shipped out over the Atlantic to North Africa, and then
put us on airplanes and sent us to Italy.
Harriet spent the war sending teletype messages for the Allied forces in the European theater. While over there, she met her husband, and they married in Italy. But due to supply shortages during the war, they had to get creative when it came to making her wedding dress.
The girls decided in my room, there was 10 of us in the room, and but one of them, she decided, well, she would make my wedding dress. And I remember they stood me up on a chair and put this big parachute silk around me. So my dress was made out of a part of a parachute.
Do you have so much pride for what you did, that you were the greatest generation and part of the biggest battle, arguably, in world history?
Well, at the time we didn't, but now I do. I think, I guess it was one of the biggest generations, and I guess I do think that I'm proud I am part of it.
A living legacy and honoring those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and are here to tell their stories today.
Harriet worked at Juvenile Shoes for more than 20 years, and her husband died in 1968. Her brother also survived the war. She said she kept in touch with her roommates for many years, but sadly she believes she is the only one left. These days she enjoys doing crafts and watching NASCAR. Let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump threatens to shift billions from Harvard to trade schools amid an ongoing legal battle. Plus, Swedish car maker Volvo is set to slash 3,000 jobs. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, as the summer travel season heats up, are you keeping your private information safe? From cafes to airports, it's become second nature for many of us to find and connect to free Wi-Fi, especially when traveling abroad. But with a growing number of cyber threats, the free Wi-Fi could cost you. Reporter Michael Yoshida shares more on what you need to know to keep your data safe while trotting the globe.
When traveling, staying connected has become a necessity.
Wi-Fi or connectivity is very much like water and air.
But experts warn
free and public Wi-Fi access points can be fraught with danger.
Personal data can be big business for hackers and scammers, leading to an ever-growing number of threats to be aware of. A big one, the man-in-the-middle or evil twin Wi-Fi scam.
A Wi-Fi network that looks like the real legitimate one, but it's actually run by somebody who could be very nearby, trying deliberately to intercept your data. Passwords, logins, they could even hack into your computer.
Internet security expert and CMO president Eric Plam says these are some things to remember when connecting to that cafe, airport, hotel, or other public and free Wi-Fi. Be wary if it's too easy, even if free. Cafes, airport lounges, or hotels often ask for a password or room number. Once you do connect, check to make sure you're browsing on a secure site. You can do that by looking at where you type in a web address. It should say HTTPS. There also might be a symbol of a padlock, though this isn't always guaranteed to be safe according to the FBI. You should also refrain from logging into bank accounts or conducting sensitive transactions. And if you want to go a step further, buy a VPN or virtual private network, a service provided by lots of different vendors which creates a secure tunnel between your device and whatever site you're visiting. But the best option, according to Plam, use your own hotspot.
This is the most secure and convenient way to go.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
President Donald Trump has threatened to divert $3 billion in federal grant money from Harvard University to trade schools, he said in a post on social media. Now, it's unclear how the president would shift the funding. The White House and the Ivy League college are locked in a legal battle after the Trump administration froze billions in funding while accusing Harvard of not doing enough to address anti-Semitism on campus. Harvard didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. And Swedish carmaker Volvo is slashing 3,000 jobs in order to cut costs amid trade and economic uncertainty. The company says around 2,200 of the eliminated positions are based in Sweden and the rest will come from other global markets. The job cuts are focused on office positions. And now the class of 2025 can get free donuts with their diplomas. Tomorrow, Krispy Kreme is giving college and high school grads a free 3-pack of original glazed donuts if they wear their cap and gown or senior swag to stores. Now, some grads could be selected to get a new diploma inspired by the classic Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, which comes with free donuts for a year. And that's it for Consumer Watch this morning. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're taking a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We've got that heavy drizzle leading to some slightly reduced visibility. Thankfully, nothing significant. We do have more showers, even a couple of thunderstorms on the way. We'll have a complete look at your forecast and a look at birthdays and anniversaries when we come back. All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays. We're going to start with our neighbor in Crestline, Hunter Schultz, celebrating birthday number 13. Happy birthday.
And a happy 21st birthday to Madison Kester in Pittsburgh. It says, happy birthday, Maddie. Mama loves you so much.
And in Riverton, Glenda Ragland celebrating birthday number 67. All right, that's it. Only 3 birthdays.
Yes.
I know there's a lot more people in the 4 states, and I know there's got to be a lot more of them celebrating birthdays. So maybe if you just forgot, didn't think about it, a summer vacation, the holiday weekend, at least what should they do to celebrate, even if it's late?
Yes, please submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen, and to also include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Certainly so. And we've got another day of showers and a couple of rumbles of thunder. Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, it will not pick up on drizzle very well, but we are seeing some of that across the region. What we are starting to see, just a few spotty showers, not much right now, but we'll see shower chances increasing. So we're taking this county level here for Elk County. So just to the northwest of Howard, approaching K99. It's a little shower, maybe a little sprinkle there by Twin Grove down into Greenwood County. And then we head back to the south, just northwest of Cedarvale, a little shower there as well. Now, again, it doesn't look like much here, but again, we also have some of that drizzle, which will not show up on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. You can try and fine-tune the sensitivity to see the drizzle, which we can actually do manually, but if we do that, it's going to cause it to look like it's going to pick up all the moisture that's out there, and it's just going to be like a blanket of rain across the area. But we will see rain chances increase as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. Our rain chances are a bit lower today than where they have been the last couple of days, but as you can see on the future track, they are definitely still there for some of us. Showers, again, rolling in the afternoon, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. No severe weather is expected with any of that, but still a rumble of thunder or two. Now, as we go into the evening and even into the afternoon, take a look. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Get a little bit of sunshine in here in some places, and if we can, it will help us be a little warmer. Now, our average high is 80. This is not 80. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't want 90-degree temperatures either, but we're still about 15 degrees off pace for most of us for our average highs. Now, future track again holds on to some showers through 8 this evening. I think the bulk of the rain's done by 6. If anything, we're looking at maybe a few sprinkles by 8. And it also shows a few spotty showers tomorrow morning. Do not worry about that at all. We're going to start our Wednesday mostly cloudy. We'll even have moments of partly to mostly cloudy skies by the afternoon, which will allow us to warm up just a little bit more. Still not to average, but a little bit warmer. And then by the evenings, it starts to kind of focus in on the rain here. We're going to start to see slightly increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. And again, no severe weather is expected with any of this business, but it will continue from west to east across the area as we go into the overnight hours from Wednesday into Thursday morning. Then by Thursday, this is our cloudiest yet driest day so far that still had rain chances. So what I mean by that is, as you can see, by Thursday afternoon, we're straight up cloudy across the region. And there's rain, yes, but even compared to today on the future track, it is considerably more spotty. So we're looking at lower rain chances. They're there. We're going to see some showers here and there, but there's not nearly as many. It's that whole thing of, it's not rain everywhere all at once. It's isolated to widely scattered showers, which is an improvement. And then take a look by Thursday evening, another improvement. Showers race out of here, and overnight from Thursday into Friday, skies begin to clear out, setting the stage for what's going to be, for the most part, a pretty darn good weekend for us. Now for this morning, look at that. It's dreary, but it's okay. There was this lady that brought one of those painted rocks to where my wife works, as she gave it to me because this lady wanted me to have it. And it says something. There's no such thing as good or bad weather. There's just the weather and your attitude towards it. So maybe this is a good day. It's a great day to take a nap, a great day to be indoors, do some cleaning. It's all about your attitude. Showers, though, through the morning, hanging on to the low 60s. We're going to have another look at your forecast, talk about that nice weekend that's around the corner, and when we transition to Fox 14, we're on KOM. When we transition over there to that, Fox 14, where you hang out with us here on KOM+, Plus, we're going to hear how one man in Utah is trying to motivate people 1 mile at a time.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A former police chief is on the run after escaping from a prison in Arkansas. Grant Hardin, the former police chief of Gateway, Arkansas, escaped from the North Central Unit in Calico Rock. Hardin disguised himself to mimic law enforcement when he escaped the North Central Unit. Hardin was serving a 30-year sentence for the October 2017 murder of James Appleton. He was also serving a 50-year sentence for the rape of an elementary school teacher in Rogers, Arkansas. Corrections officials say they are working closely with local, state, and federal agencies. In Crawford County, Kansas, several roads were shut down after heavy flooding washed out portions of the roadway. Commissioner Bruce Blair says the damage is significant. County officials are urging people to turn around and find a safer route instead of trying to drive through. They say the Road and Bridge Department immediately began assessing the damage and implementing safety closures while also looking at long-term repairs. And community members gathered at Webb City's Mount Hope Memorial Park for a Memorial Day remembrance. Charlie Tutu put together the service with the presentation of colors and the playing of taps. The Webb City mayor says it's important that at least part of the holiday is about honoring our veterans. The ceremony included the placement of the ashes of U.S. Navy veteran Mark E. Reynolds. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, some drizzle this morning, more showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder through the afternoon. Temperatures mid-60s, north winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. We should begin drying out after 6, mostly cloudy, patchy dense fog possible overnight tonight into our morning commute tomorrow, so do keep that in mind. Winds will be calm. We're back into the upper 50s tonight. A few late day storms are possible tomorrow, leading into some scattered showers on Thursday, and then finally, by Friday, sunshine returns. Could get a pop-up storm or two Saturday, so nothing widespread at this point. But remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. Otherwise, sunny skies into the weekend and temperatures warming back up, low to mid-80s out there.
Coming up today at noon, we're making chili dog bubble bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, why people from around the world are flocking to Australia to take a selfie with okay, I'm not going to say it's right, but one of those funny little animals. They're cousins to the kangaroo, the quokkas,
whatever you
One
like.
of those things.
Yeah.
We'll see why.
Or you can switch on over on us with Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jason Rickner joins us in the studio to talk about how AI has been making a difference.
And Charlene Patton also in the studio with a not-so-AI healthy recipe. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now, and we'll talk more about funny kangaroo cousins later, and we'll be back here tomorrow at 5.
And we'll see you today at noon.